Right now at 5, Carthage residents got the chance to clear out the clutter for free.
And after a day of strong to severe thunderstorms yesterday, looking better later today. A couple of showers out there right now. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, we'll see how a woman used the power of social media to find her dog after it went missing for nearly 5 months.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAL Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday. I
Yes.
really don't know what, it's the 9th, I think.
The 9th,
It
yes,
is 9th.
indeed.
I haven't even looked yet this morning. I know a lot of folks yesterday, bit of a scary situation with some of those thunderstorms that rolled through. So again, something, the Joplin tornado sirens went off. I know that scared a lot of people,
Right.
but you also have to keep in mind that part of the siren sounding policy is also for the chance of life-threatening wind gusts,
Right.
which is 70 miles an hour or greater. And that's why those sirens were
Yes.
sounded yesterday. But that in concert with the scary looking clouds, really, I'm sure unnerved a lot of folks.
Quite the sight, yeah.
Thankfully, nothing like that today. In fact, we're going to get an opportunity to dry out. We're going to start with that live look downtown Pittsburgh. Things look okay so far. We're still pretty cloudy out there right now. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Not too bad either this morning. However, we still have a few isolated showers out there, especially into the southwest Missouri side. So some of these, not everything you see necessarily reaching the ground, but some light rain. Actually, almost right over us here at the station, back toward Carl Junction, south of Jasper, and then to the southwest of Greenfield. We come on down, we get this little shower down here near Jenkins in Berry County, and this little guy over Bella Vista, not a very big storm, as you can see, but definitely producing a fair amount of lightning strike out there, lightning strikes for such a small storm. So it's only 8. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but in a confined area like that, it is a bit of quite a bit of lightning for a small spot. So just keep that in mind if you're heading south. Now, granted, all of this is eventually going to start to wind down and clear on out of here, and then our skies will clear as we head into the morning. In fact, in the next few hours, we'll have sunny skies out there. Future track showing a stray shower out there. I do not think we're going to get anything. We should be sunny and pretty warm as we roll into the afternoon. We're at 62 right now in Joplin. Say it's 63 in Pittsburgh, and temperatures this morning hanging out. We got some cooler spots. Iola, for example, they're at 58 as the cool spot. Then we got some low to mid 60s across the regions. We're getting this Monday morning started. Sunny skies again as we go through today. Temperatures warming at or right about average into the low 80s. Temperatures will heat up a bit tomorrow, but we will remain dry. We have some additional shower chances on the way later this week. We'll look at those in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Lise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. The former Northern Arkansas police chief turned inmate is back in law enforcement custody. According to the Isarge County Sheriff's Office in Arkansas, Grant Hardin was captured Friday afternoon. He was found fewer than 2 miles from the prison grounds he escaped. Hardin pleaded guilty to fatally shooting a man in 2017 and later to raping a teacher in 2019. Before his conviction, he was chief of Gateway in Benton County, just over the state line from Seligman in Berry County. Well, a Joplin man has been charged after he allegedly hit a man with his truck and fled the scene. Carthage police responded to reports of a hit-and-run accident. Now, on scene, officers found an adult victim, Derek Daly, in the road, leaning against a vehicle with injuries to his head, face, neck, arm, torso, and leg. He was taken to the hospital to be treated. Eyewitnesses say they saw a black Ford F-150 driven by Gilberto Alejandro going west on Walnut Street when Daly allegedly made an obscene hand gesture toward the truck. The truck then turned around and began going east back to the victim. The witnesses told officers that Alejandro intentionally swerved toward Daly, hitting him. According to court documents, Alejandro turned himself into the police station on June 1st. Shortly after 11 a.m. Saturday, reports of a crash near the Hickory Creek Bridge over US 60 Cemetery Road alerted 911. It was a single vehicle crash that began on the bridge. The westbound US 60 passenger car went off the right side of the road down a steep embankment, crashing into trees. The male driver was transported to a Joplin hospital suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Missouri State Highway Patrol is investigating this as a possible DWI crash. Mike Mendez Hernandez of Carthage, Missouri has been arrested by the Highway Patrol in this case. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Vision Carthage hosted Dumpster Day, a free community cleanup event for Carthage residents. The event ran from 3 to 7 p.m. yesterday in the Carthage Memorial Hall parking lot. Now, anyone with a Carthage address could drop off unsightly or unwanted items, including scrap metal and tires. Innovative Industries provided secure paper shredding, and Jackson Tire Auto helped with on-site tire recycling. Items like lawn clippings, paint, hot water tanks, and chemicals were not accepted. Vision Carthage said they recycled everything they could and encouraged neighbors to help one another bring items to the event. Well, a dog that went missing back in December has been reunited with her owner. KOAM's Mitch Adams tells us how the owner used the power of social media to get Hazel home.
I would have to say she is a warrior for being able to go through what she went through.
Oftentimes when pets run away, it's easy to lose hope. For Kate Anderson, finding her dog Hazel is something she never gave up on. After letting her dogs out in the early morning, Anderson quickly noticed her dogs didn't run back inside like they normally do.
After a minute or two, I decided to go out and check. And that's when I discovered that she had dug a hole in the fence, and they had both escaped.
Both dogs were gone, but Hazel's sister Abby had been found in January.
It was heart-wrenching. It was definitely a gut-wrenching feeling. I mean, they've both escaped before and came back, and I thought nothing of it at first.
Anderson later turned to Facebook, making post after post, hoping someone had caught a glimpse of her dog.
When I first posted, I didn't think anything of it. I thought hopefully somebody would maybe spot them or have them even.
Anderson then got word from her neighbor that Hazel was seen, but had gotten hit by a car.
After she got hit, we were pretty lost. She had gotten hit and was followed by animal control. Dan tried to follow her and followed her to the trails, from my understanding, and lost her. After that, I thought she was gone. I thought I had lost her.
After posting to social media day in and day out to get people's attention, a new lead on Hazel's location finally came to light.
I had gotten a message from a wonderful lady named Sue, and she had posted on my post, she'd commented saying that she thinks that Hazel was in her backyard and that she has Ring video camera and she has a bunch of videos.
After noticing that Hazel seemed to only be seen on the camera at night, Anderson reached out to social media yet again.
And then I got another message from another wonderful woman named Grace, who offered to lend me her trap. And that's when we all came together and decided to set a trap at Sue's house for Hazel.
But after a long 5 months of Hazel being missing, from December to May, Hazel was finally returned to her human's arms.
I mean, we sat in my car and just kind of held each other for a couple minutes. And the drive home, she basically sat on my lap the entire time.
With the community's help, Hazel is now safe and sound, back at home with her sister and human family.
Searching for her and finding her was a town effort. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the people around here and everybody giving me hope.
In Pittsburgh, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
As of now, the social media post saying Hazel had been found has nearly 200 responses. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Immigration protests escalate in Los Angeles while President Trump says he's ready to send more troops. And we have a warm and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, President Trump says he's prepared to deploy more troops as immigration clashes in Los Angeles now enter a fourth day. The protests began Friday after immigration officials ramped up raids in the area. The president then bypassed the state's governor to deploy at least 2,000 National Guard troops to the area. California's Governor Gavin Newsom is calling on the president to pull back those troops, calling the move purposely inflammatory. Naomi Ruckham has more from New York.
Violent clashes in Los Angeles County as anti-ICE protesters take to the streets, with some people setting cars on fire and shooting off fireworks at police. President Donald Trump has deployed National Guard troops, bypassing California Governor Gavin Newsom.
I did call him the other night. I said, look, you got to take care of this, otherwise I'm sending in the troops. That's what we did.
Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass have appealed to protesters for peace while blasting the president's move as inflammatory.
I don't want people to fall into the chaos that I believe is being created by the administration.
Newsom has requested that the White House rescind the deployment of National Guard troops, calling it a serious breach of sovereignty. Meanwhile, the U.S. military has confirmed to CBS News that 500 active duty Marines are prepared to deploy if ordered to do so.
We'll send whatever we need to make sure there's law and order.
Los Angeles police say dozens of arrests have been made and multiple officers have been injured in the clashes.
This thing has gotten out of control.
It all comes as a new CBS News poll finds that 54% of Americans support the Trump administration's deportation program. For some LA residents, the issue hits close to home.
People are taken from their houses, from their workplaces, for no reason.
Overnight, the city of Glendale in Los Angeles County announced that it's terminating a contract to house immigration detainees. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The violent clashes in Los Angeles also come as President Trump's new and expanded travel ban kicked in overnight, restricting travel for 19 countries. Well, still to come, new research suggests that certain jobs are more prone to depression than others. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your Monday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. A burglary suspect is caught doing some fancy footwork, dancing for an extended period of time outside of a school, which police say he then robbed, and the whole thing was caught on camera. Jeremy Roth has today's. Take a look at this.
A boogieing burglary suspect was caught on camera busting a move before police say he busted into a school and stole some valuable property. Surveillance video just released from Victoria Police in Australia shows a man pull up outside a school in Sunbury and begin dancing in the parking lot. The suspect's smooth moves go on for quite some time before police say he then broke into the school and made off with 3 laptops and a projector worth more than $5,000. Officials are now asking for the public's help in identifying the individual. The saying goes, dance like nobody's watching, but you might want to first make sure that includes surveillance cameras. Speaking of smooth moves, check out a runner who was saved by some fancy footwork after a last-second trip-up nearly cost her a state title. Just feet from the finish line, Oregon runner Brooklyn Anderson tripped over the final hurdle, but pulled off an amazingly deft double somersault to save her 100-meter win. What's even more amazing is she managed to stay in her lane, staying within the rules. Anderson later told race officials she saved her win by resorting back to her gymnastics career. Finally, some not-so-smooth moves by a deer led to a humorous encounter in an Iowa hair salon. The deer had crashed through a glass window, becoming trapped in the salon, and as a responding officer arrived, the panicked animal ran to another window and tried unsuccessfully to jump through again. Eventually, officers would help relocate the deer, but only after the one on scene told it to cool its jumping jets.
Just stop, bro.
For take a look at this.
Chill for a second.
I'm Jeremy Roth.
Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, I've still got some cloudy skies out there this morning. A few lingering showers. Eventually they'll clear out and we will see the sun again. We've got another look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:22 now on this Monday morning, and we are starting again with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Now, the good news is no strong or severe storms out there this morning, but we do have a few lingering showers across parts of the area. So we've got some of these here again just to the northwest of Carthage and southwest of Carl Junction. Another one near Galena. Not all of this necessarily reaching the ground. Then we've got this shower here that is just to the north of Red Oak, northwest of Miller there. And back to the south, got a shower over Mount Vernon, one that's north of Monette. We have a few spotty showers around Newton County as well. We got this guy, was producing a fair amount of lightning, but that has obviously come down as there's no lightning being detected at this point, just to the west of Seligman. And then down into Benton County, and then parts of southern Delaware County. A few additional scattered showers, some moderate rainfall out there. But again, all of this is on its way out, and eventually it will stop, because you see where it had recycled there for a bit, and you can also see though that that's stopping, and we'll start to have those clear skies by this afternoon. In fact, next couple of days, really next 2 or 3 days, there's not much to show you on the future track. Future track is hinting at this thing, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's just an anomaly within the future track. We're not looking at any rain today. We're going to have sunny skies. Temperatures are going to be warm. Now, we've got a slightly cool overnight. Temperatures a bit below normal tonight. But as we head into our Tuesday, we'll actually start going right back into the warm zone and possibly even a little above normal as we go into Tuesday afternoon. Have a few clouds overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll have some partly cloudy skies. Temperatures, though, still staying pretty darn warm, already into the upper 70s. So, again, not too bad. Here's a look at 7th and range line. We do have those dark clouds out there and the cloudy skies, but again, all this is going to start to wrap up and move on out of here. Again, a few clouds out there as skies are expected to clear pretty quickly this morning. Mid-60s by 8 into the mid-70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Sunny skies this afternoon, a light northwest breeze at 5 to 10, and temperatures eventually is rising back up there, upper 70s, low 80s, so about where they're supposed to be for this time of year. Into the evening we go. Clear skies continue. Could have a stray cloud or two overnight tonight. Otherwise, again, clear skies, a little bit on the cool side, back into the mid-50s and calm winds. So we want to keep an eye out for the potential for some patchy fog. Now, we do have additional shower and thunderstorm chances. We go late Wednesday, start rolling into about this time Thursday morning. I apologize. Thursday morning, we'll start with some scattered showers, thunderstorms. There's the potential once again for some heavy rainfall, which could exacerbate or worsen the flooding conditions we've already got out there. And we'll have additional scattered shower and thunderstorm chances, just kind of hanging on. Now, at this point, nothing highlighted for severe weather, which is definitely good. If that changes, we'll let you know. But the one thing is we definitely have more shower and thunderstorm chances on the way, and chances for more heavy rain as well. But again, a nice start to this week into the 80s. A few clouds on Wednesday. Again, they'll start to thicken up late Wednesday into Thursday. We'll have scattered storms into at least Saturday, and we'll start to heat back up again next week as we go back into the mid to upper 80s. So at least not rain chances every day, but unfortunately still some rain chances out there. And thankfully at this point as well, nothing screaming severe with this activity later this week. That's a quick check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, are certain jobs more prone to depression than others? Well, new research in JAMA Network Open found the careers in healthcare and food preparation and service have the highest rates of diagnosed depression. Manual labor jobs tended to have lower rates of depression. And the study also noted that female workers have double the rates of diagnosed depression compared to male workers. Well, too much screen time for children can lead to a dangerous cycle. A study published by the American Psychological Association showed that increased screen time for kids under 10 can lead to emotional and behavioral problems like depression and anxiety. And those emotional problems can then lead kids to seek even more screen time to cope. Researchers say girls are particularly susceptible to the harms of too much screen time. And skincare routines promoted to teens on TikTok can be harmful. A new study by Northwestern University found girls ages 7 to 18 are using an average of 6 different products on their faces, spending an average of $168 a month. Now, the top viewed products marketed to teens by some TikTok influencers have an average of 11 ingredients that potentially cause skin irritation. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, firefighters in southeast Kansas get hands-on training to support air medical teams.
And we've still got some clouds, still a few isolated showers, but we will clear out. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Fort Scott celebrates their 44th annual Good Old Days Festival. We'll take you there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday. It's June the 9th. And of course, had severe weather yesterday evening across the area. Some very large hail out there. Some very heavy rainfall, damaging wind gusts as well were a problem. And for those who may not have caught up on everything just yet, that is why the sirens were sounded in Joplin yesterday. It is their policy that when there's sustained winds 70 miles an hour or greater, they'll sound the sirens because those can be just as damaging or destructive as a tornado. You may recall, the derecho in 2009. It wasn't a tornado, but it was 80, 90, 100 mile an hour winds, and that's just as destructive as a tornado. So that's why they have that policy in place. And we are going to be considerably calmer today. We've got a few more showers to get through this morning. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies again are cloudy, but they are expected to clear pretty quickly. MoDOT camera 20th at range line in Joplin looking good as well. Skype Storm Tracker again show a few isolated showers out there, but we're starting to see that wind down. So we've got one right north of Carthage. We've got one just over or just exiting the Mount Vernon area, and another one right behind it down to the south. And then up north of Miller, we've got a little shower. We've got this one that's just to the east of Diamond, and a couple more east of Neosho near Stark City, and some near to the west of Seligman entering Berry County. Some heavier showers down through Benton and southern Delaware counties. And we've got this guy's way out here, just to the east of Pawnee in Oklahoma. This is part of all the stuff. If you watch the cycle here on this loop, you can see where the showers just kind of redevelop, but now they've stopped. And that's really going to be the case. These will continue to exit on out of here, and before too much longer, we will have clear skies. Temperatures are going to be nice and warm across the region. We'll have a light northwest breeze around 5 to 10. Future track, I think, just picking up on an anomaly of some rain chances. It does not look like we're looking at any more rain chances as we head through today. 62 in Joplin, 63 in Pittsburgh, and temperatures this morning to get pretty decent. Got some cool spots, though. Iola's the cool spot at 57. Otherwise, most of us are into the low to mid 60s this morning. All of us will eventually warm to pretty normal temperatures, upper 70s, low 80s, sunny skies. As mentioned, that northwest breeze 5 to 10. Just a few of those remaining showers this morning. They'll be gone, and then we'll have some sunshine. Now, we do have more rain chances on the way this week, though, and temperatures really going to heat up again. Have a look at your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Lisa?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, several fire department agencies in southeast Kansas had the opportunity Saturday to learn how to support first responders in the air. A training at the Galesburg Community Center offered instruction on how fire departments can aid med-flight helicopters on scene. An instructor from med-flight in Parsons taught them how to communicate with an aircraft, how to make a landing zone, and how first responders can help if a helicopter crashes.
It's a very important training for us to have, just simply because it makes sure that our responders are safe as they're approaching a helicopter, as well as it gives us the capabilities of being able to work with those helicopter crews.
We can partner to provide as much education and safety as far as the whole process of bringing a helicopter into a location. It can be a dangerous situation for anyone and a stressful time for anybody involved.
Several southeast Kansas agencies participated in the training, including fire personnel from Galesburg, St. Paul, and Hepler. Fort Scott, Kansas held their 44th annual Good Old Days Festival. Craft vendors, food trucks, and more lined Fort Scott's Main Street. The festival kicked off over the weekend with events like a car show, a baby contest, and more.
It has been amazing. The feedback and the support that we've gotten for Fort Scott is amazing. You know, you can go to these bigger cities, but there's nothing like coming to a hometown that has really embraced us and shown their support.
Live music was played by different bands, including a band that traveled all the way from Mississippi to perform at the Good Old Days Festival. Well, Saturday morning, hundreds gathered in downtown Joplin for the annual March for Jesus. The march coincides with others held across the United States and the world at the same time. Those gathering to march are from various Christian denominations and churches. They carried banners and signs, walking together and singing songs. The March for Jesus goes back 40 years here in the United States. Every year it coincides with the day of Pentecost, which was the birth of the modern-day church in the Bible. Organizers say it as a way to bring together numerous churches as one. Over the past few days, artists of all skill levels have been creating art displays as a part of the 100-year celebration of Route 66. The World Street Painting Foundation has been working hard to create 3D Route 66 themed pieces of artwork. Now, as a part of the last day of the artists working, the public was invited out to create their own pieces of chalk artwork. Another first Saturday of the month means another Makers Market in Joplin as a chance for people to explore the creations of local artisans and vendors. The market has everything from jewelry to art to food.
People in our church who have small businesses trying to start their own small business go to different craft events, different vendor fairs, things like that. And we have this parking lot that's not being used, so we are trying to invite people here to come and pitch their tent and sell their stuff.
The next Makers Market will be July 5th. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Brown eggs are being recalled due to a salmonella outbreak that has sickened at least 79 people in 7 states. Plus, adjustable Bowflex dumbbells are also being recalled due to a safety risk. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, the government's May jobs report points to a steady but slowing labor market. Karen Kava breaks down what the numbers mean for new grads, summer hires, and other job seekers.
The White House pleased with the government's May jobs report.
What I can tell you is that today's jobs report show that the economy is strong.
The Labor Department said U.S. employers added 139,000 jobs during May, slightly more than economists expected, but fewer than in April. Unemployment stayed steady at 4.2%. But some economists see slowdown signs, and one says job seekers may feel the numbers don't match their reality.
I think that the headline numbers aren't necessarily representing the lived experiences of the people in the economy right now.
Healthcare and leisure and hospitality led sectors adding jobs in May. Federal government jobs continued to decline, and amid the White House back and forth on tariffs, retail and manufacturing hiring dropped. So did temporary hiring. Bad news for summer job seekers, and according to Indeed hiring lab economist Corey Staley, a potential labor market bellwether.
It tells us about kind of the short-term hiring plans, tells us about how employers are feeling about bringing new people onto payroll. So oftentimes when we see that start to drop, that can be kind of a caution sign.
The report also highlighting a daunting landscape for new grads. March and April gains were revised down by a combined 95,000 jobs. And as companies slow hiring, current workers are staying put.
It's a pretty good time to have a job. Layoffs are low. Not as good of a time if you don't have a job.
Meanwhile, the labor market's resilience against White House trade policy tumults is likely to bolster the Federal Reserve's wait-and-see approach to potential interest rate cuts. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Now, 2 big recalls. First, the Food and Drug Administration says recalled brown eggs distributed by August Egg Company have been linked to a salmonella outbreak in 7 states with at least 79 people sickened. 21 people have been hospitalized, and the eggs were sold under multiple brand names, including Clover, First Street, and O Organics. The FDA is urging consumers, restaurants, and retailers not to eat or serve the eggs and to sanitize any surfaces they come into contact with. The federal investigation into the outbreak continues. Also, nearly 4 million adjustable Bowflex dumbbells have been recalled because the plates can become dislodged, posing an injury risk. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says there have been more than 100 reports of injuries, including abrasions, concussions, and broken toes. The recall applies to the 552 and 1090 models. Now, owners are urged to stop using the dumbbells immediately and contact the company for a full refund or free replacement. And Lilo and Stitch blasted to the top of the weekend box office again, earning more than $32 million in North America. The John Wick spin-off Ballerina danced to #2 in its debut with $25 million. And Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning continues its run at third with $15 million. That's a look at Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, still got some cloudy skies out there and a few lingering showers, but these clouds and showers will move out quickly, and we will see the sun return by later this morning. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Well, honeybees are vital to food production, but keepers saw serious losses last year. Now scientists think they know why. Details in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. Get ready for higher beef prices, cattle futures markets, and the cash market, both climbing to all-time records this week. June live cattle futures, which is like the stock market for livestock, hit $224.70 per 100 pounds. That's the highest price ever for a spot month futures contract. August feeder cattle futures, those cattle in or headed for feedlots, well, it topped $310 per 100. Markets continue to be pulled up by historically tight supplies and strong beef demand from consumers. Food company Cargill says it's making a $90 million upgrade to its Fort Morgan, Colorado beef plant as part of its Factory of the Future initiative. That includes more automation and what Cargill calls revolutionary computer vision technology that measures red meat and cutting in real time. We recently told you about historic honeybee losses this winter. A nationwide survey of beekeepers showed some commercial operations lost more than 60% of their bees from last June to February of this year. Now researchers think they know why. Alarmingly high levels of viral infections within the colonies. Those viruses are being transmitted by varroa mites. The Honeybee Health Coalition says this underscores the urgent need for new ways to battle the mites. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Let's head over to Chris now for a full look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to start with a look at the Skywatch storm trackers. Again, we've got a few isolated showers and even a couple of rumbles of thunder still trying to hold on out there, but they are becoming considerably more confined. So we've got, I'll move the radar up here. Sorry about that. So north of Nashville, east of Pittsburgh, you see a little light shower there. And that latest sweep, you can see how quickly it's kind of dying out. We'll head down to the south. We've got another one that's northeast of Carthage, and it just... yeah, we're getting nice fresh data in throughout the whole thing here. All right, we've got a heavier shower, though. This one picked up a bit to the southeast of Sarcoxy. Got some rain to the east of Mount Vernon as well, and to the west of Purdy, down toward Cassville, Seligman. Getting some lightning now, again, with this thunderstorm here that's on the northeast side of Bentonville near Pea Ridge. And we get some heavier showers into Bentonville itself, and then back around Little Kansas and southeast Delaware County there. We've got a few more showers. But these are it. Once they are done, which they will be before too much longer, we will be done with the rain at least for a little while before we see it come back. So, future track for today looks great. We're going to have clear skies. In fact, skies in a lot of cases are already in the process of clearing this morning. And again, future track, I think it's just an anomaly here. We are not anticipating any kind of rain or shower activity this afternoon or evening. The only showers we're expecting today is what's happening right now, which will be gone in the next hour or two. So we'll have skies clearing through the morning. The rest of our Monday looks great. Our Tuesday looks great as well. A little hotter out there, but otherwise not bad. And then as we go overnight and into Wednesday, we start to see a few more clouds roll in. Temperatures, though, staying pretty mild. It won't be until late Wednesday into Thursday, we start to see shower and thunderstorm chances. So that's what I was talking about. You can see where we've still got clouds, yes, but we are also getting that clearing taking place, and it will continue to do so pretty quickly this morning. Mid-60s by 8 o'clock this morning. Just a few clouds out there. Should be sunny after that. In the mid-70s by 11 a.m. Upper 70s and low 80s, and that is not the right number. It's supposed to be 82. I don't know what happened there. But upper 70s and low 80s for our highs today. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Into the evening, skies will be clear. We'll drop back a little below normal, a little cool out there into the mid-50s with a calm breeze. And as I mentioned, late Wednesday, really going into early Thursday morning, so about 5 o'clock Thursday morning, more showers, more thunderstorms start pushing in. So at this point, the one thing that's the biggest concern is going to be additional heavy rain, which we do not need right now. Everything is up. We need time for it to come back down a bit. Rivers, creeks, all that stuff. But it doesn't look like we're going to get a long enough break to really make a significant impact, so we're going to have to watch that. But at least some good news right now, nothing about that activity screaming severe as we roll toward the end of this week. So that's some good news. If it changes, obviously we'll let you know, but otherwise not expecting anything too crazy at this point. So hot temperatures though, mid-upper 80s Tuesday, Wednesday, thunderstorm chances into Saturday, and we'll start to heat back up again as we head into next week. That is a check of your forecast. Now here's Elise with sports.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, in the major leagues, both of Missouri's teams were able to play their games on Sunday. First up, the Royals take on the White Sox in Chicago. Kansas City looks to avoid getting swept by the White Sox, and it's not a good start for KC. Bottom of the first, Miguel Vargas blasts one to the left field and gone. Chicago jumps to a 2-0 lead. Same score in the fourth inning until Salvador Perez gets a hold of this ball. It's way out of here, and we're all tied up. That's on Salvi's fifth homer on the year. Now in the seventh, we're still tied, man on second. Jonathan India comes to the plate. He ropes a double down to left field line. Drew Waters comes home, and the Royals take the 3-2 lead. Now in the ninth, Bobby Witt Jr. rockets this ball into the bleachers, and that pads the Kansas City lead to 7 runs. They needed them. The White Sox are down by 2 with bases loaded, but Carlos Estevez gets the batter to swing and miss at the high heat, and the Royals avoid the sweep, taking down Chicago 7-5. But the Cardinals can pull off the sweep of the Dodgers. Now they lose 7-3 in this series finale. Today they welcome the Blue Jays for a 3-game series with Canada's team. Well, after a heartbreaking finish in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, the Oklahoma City Thunder respond. They take down the Pacers 123-107, leaving no room for a last-second comeback. The series is all tied up as the Finals head to Indianapolis for Games 3 and 4. And that's a look at sports this morning. Stick around. We'll be right back. One big retailer catches up to Amazon in the drone service race as it adds more states to its air delivery service. In partnership with Google's Wing and an established drone provider, Walmart says it's adding drone deliveries to over 100 store locations in Atlanta, Charlotte, Houston, Orlando, and Tampa. This builds upon its already existing drone delivery services in Northwest Arkansas and Texas. Wing operates within FAA guidelines and has a 6-mile range from Walmart stores. The expansion is aimed at helping Walmart compete with Amazon in the drone air delivery competition race. And children get the let out in order to grind out a point about a new tradition that pulls the community together. Around 1,000 people gathered in a Minneapolis scenic neighborhood Saturday to sharpen their ability to tell a story. Many came dressed up as lead pencils with erasers and recreated a story of an oak tree that was damaged during a bad storm, but found new purpose as a 20-foot tall number 2 pencil. Every year now, the community whittles down the former oak tree turned large pencil, taking off about 3 to 10 inches. The Higgins says they don't know how much they'll shave off this year, but one day time in life may reduce it all down to a final stub.
That is actually pretty cool.
Certainly.
I mean, I remember those big pencils. You know, you could get the little novelty pencils like the book fair
sure. Those
at
are
school,
fun.
but nothing. That would be something to be able to take in, as
Certainly.
a pencil the size of an oak tree, and just drag that into class. Certainly would get some looks there. But very cool and very interesting traditions. There's so many neat things like that across this country. Always got to look for the cool stuff. All right. It's not going to be cool today. Temperatures, well, not going to be super hot. They're going to be about average. Skies will clear. In fact, they're going to start to clear pretty quickly as we head through the morning. We got a few clouds this morning, mid-60s out there by 8, mid-70s by 11 o'clock. Highs today, I fixed that for you. I told you it was wrong. Into the upper 70s and low 80s. We'll have a northwest breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour, and otherwise plentiful sunshine. Clear skies overnight tonight, maybe a stray cloud or two. Otherwise not too bad, but a bit on the cool side, a little below normal into the mid-50s. And our winds will be calm, so that will beg the question, or not. My goodness, it is Monday. It'll give us the opportunity for some patchy fog. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, let's get on to this thing and maybe get a little more coffee going. Upper 80s as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, a few clouds on Wednesday. By Thursday, shower thunderstorm chances return. Probably very late Wednesday, very early Thursday. The only concern we have right now is going to be with the possibility of additional heavy rain leading to additional flooding. We don't have any severe weather areas highlighted at this point, but of course we'll keep an eye on that. Shower storms continue into Saturday, and then we'll dry out next week again and heat up once again. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.